Welcome back to Joe Stunner Boxing. If you start a boxing channel, or any channel I suppose, you do get like 98% of the people that are really fantastic and they engage with you and they talk to you, and you know, they may not agree with you, which of course is fine, but you know, you have a little chat with them and you get to meet interesting people, and like I say, 98% of it's been great. But there are of course that 2% who are just so stupid or so naive or so willfully ignorant, so unintellectual, or maybe they're just trolling. And with trolls, I always think, well, haven't you anything better to do? What are you getting out of trolling? You know, you're sort of maybe sitting in mum's basement in your Wonder Woman pajamas, tapping away on your little keyboard. I mean, it's kind of pathetic. But anyway, I made a video about Tyson Fury and how I'm sick to death of his bullshit, basically. And I wasn't really talking about him as a fighter. I was talking about all the crap he comes out with, of which it's an avalanche. You could manure a row of football fields with this crap that comes out of his mouth. So inevitably, you got a lot of people agree with me, some disagree, but you did get that percentage of people, the Fury fanboys, out they trotted, and some of the hilarious stuff they come out with. I hope they are trolling, although, to put it mildly, I think if they are trolling, again, haven't they got something better to do? But surely people aren't this stupid. Tell me they're not. Go on, leave a comment saying, no, they're not. It was all a bad dream. I'll give you one example. This bloke said to me, let me get this right now, he said, I mean, he sort of wrote a great screed against me, you know, a great litany of what he considered to be relevant points about how I'm biased. Well, no, mate, I'm not biased. Bias is a fucking noun. The adjective is biased. There's an ed on the end. You are biased, or you are displaying bias. Do you understand? This is basic English. They used to teach this in schools. I don't know what they teach nowadays. And then he went on to say that, you know, I know what I was talking about, and and by the way, he boxes. I box, which is like a justification of all the crud he was coming out with. But the thing that really amused me the most, I blocked him obviously now because life's too short, but the thing that this shows how stupid a lot of these people are. He said to me, when Joshua had the belts, because of course if I criticise Fury I have to be a Joshua fan, don't I? You know, I've got to say that's the reason. It can't be anything in the middle. So he said, yeah, when Joshua had the belts, he only offered Fury less than 1% of the purse, the money on the table. And I said, what? I said, what are you talking about? Less than 1%? When was this? You know, give me a reference point. And of course he comes back at me, well, you call yourself a boxing channel? Well, no, I don't call myself a boxing channel. I run a boxing channel. You should know this. Everybody knows that Fury was only offered 12.5 million. 12.5 million. So that's less than 1%. Okay. So what this guy is saying is that Fury, less than 1%, don't forget. Let's say it is 1%, 12.5 million. That means that Joshua would have had to have been offered 12.5 billion to fight Tyson Fury. I don't recall him ever being offered 12.5 billion. This prick couldn't even do basic maths or basic English. He was so dim-witted. But look, ignoring the fanboys, because you're never going to get through to them. They're just too dumb. But ignoring the fanboys, let me put my cards on the table when it comes to Joshua and Fury, because the criticisms I have of Fury had nothing to do with Joshua. I mean, I mentioned the fact that Fury's been cynical and now called out AJ. But apart from, I wasn't saying I prefer AJ to Fury. Not in that video. I mean, I may be about to now to some degree, but in that video I was just saying, for Christ's sake, Fury, either fight or shut the fuck up. Because, you're doing my head in and I'm doing a lot of people's heads in. And I stand by every syllable I said on that video. But let me put my cards on the table and compare the two fighters, AJ and Fury, right? I'm just thinking of all the twats who are I'm going to bring out of the woodwork with this one. But anyway, as fighters, Fury, to me personally, I'm not going to go into it in great detail because otherwise we'll be here all day, but Fury is the superior fighter to AJ. in my opinion. He's got more skills, more natural skills. He's got more natural ability. He's got by far a higher ring IQ. He hasn't got a great jaw, but when he goes on the floor, he gets up and carries on and comes back well. He's got good recuperative powers. He's just overall a better fighter, mentally, technically. And that's just, based on the eye test. Now, who do I prefer? Who do I have more respect for? AJ or Fury? I have more respect for AJ. And let me tell you why. Because AJ has never ducked a mandatory. He's gone after everyone with belts. In the space of a short career, he's fought consistently. He's lost the title, won it back. He never ducked the Usyk rematch. He wanted that. And now he's taken on, he will be taking on Fury, having agreed to every single condition that Fury and his camp put in place. Every single one. AJ said yes. That to me is a fighting man. Now you can argue it's not great business. He's actually doing himself a disservice long term. Maybe he should go away and take a break. Maybe he should, he's not been very intelligent about it. Maybe he needs to get with a new trainer, have a good clear out, get with a new trainer, spend a year and a half, 2 years having a couple of tune-up fights. You can make all those arguments, and I would probably, as I have done in previous videos, agree with you, or with most of those points. But the fact of the matter is, if you want a throwback fighter who'll fight anyone, anytime, you can't look any further than Anthony Joshua. He's done it. He's proved it. He won a title early on against Charles Martin. That fast-tracked him, so he was learning on the job. He fought everyone. And some people have criticisms. They say, yeah, but, Klitschko was out of the ring, Fury beat him, and then he was out. Yeah, I agree with that. That's a good, Povetkin was past his best, Pulev was past his best, Takam probably should have been in there. Okay, all of these are individual arguments, and I might agree with you. But overall, when you take the decisions made by AJ and his team, he's ducked no one, and he's fought everyone, and he's proved himself. I don't think he's the best heavyweight in the world right now. I think that's been proven. Usyk's clearly better. If they had fought before AJ had ever lost, before the first Ruiz fight, I would have picked Fury to win. But I've got more respect for AJ for what he does, for his mentality, for the way he goes about his business, than I do Fury. Fury has had 5 world title fights. 3 against the same man who he outweighed by probably about 30 or 40 pounds of natural weight. Okay, a guy he'd ridiculed as being just a basketball player. He fought him 3 times. To me, he won all three of those fights. The first one wasn't a draw. Fury should have had it. But again, did we need to see a third Fury-Joshua fight? Wilder fight? He also beat Dillian Whyte recently, who is, I think, the only mandatory he's ever taken, I believe. And of course, two fights previously, Dillian had been knocked out, spark out, by Alexander Povetkin, who was, what was he, 40, 41 at the time? And yeah, obviously Fury went to Germany and beat Klitschko, which was a great win, although Klitschko was no spring chicken, but it was a good win, no doubt about it. Going to Germany and beating Klitschko in Germany, that was a very, very big achievement. Again, I rate Fury as a fighter, but he's only had those 5 fights, 3 of them against the same man. His resume is not really that deep at all, not really. Okay, and if you're going to criticise Joshua's resume, you've really got to criticise Fury's resume. I don't really see how you can. I think AJ's got a better resume, but he hasn't beaten everyone. Fury's got a less of a resume, but he's undefeated. So what do you like? Also, there is a lack of cynicism to what Joshua does. When the Fury fight fell through last year, straight away he said, all right, give me someone who can handle their business like a professional. Along comes Usyk. Yeah, I'll have him. He's a mandatory, I'll have him. No hint of backing out, of ducking, of doing anything, Joshua was the one when he had the belts and Wilder was the champion, a WBC champ. He was the one calling him out. Wilder bottled it quite clearly, did not accept the staggered with 120 million for 2 fights. Wilder's career has been, I mean, he's probably made millions, but he could have made tens of millions. It's embarrassing to see. It's just absolutely embarrassing. I just think that Anthony Joshua has shown me, as a boxing fan, far more than Tyson Fury. I'm not even going to get into what I discussed in the previous video, which is, Fury failing a drugs test, putting on 10 stone, saying he's going to donate money to charity and not doing it. The cynicism of Fury also, the Mayweather mentality, if you like. Okay, I'll fight Joshua now. He's lost twice in a row. Come on, let's give the public what they want, the biggest British fight ever. That's the first time you called the man out. Now that he's on his arse, now that he's had his little emotional meltdown, now that he's there for the taking, suddenly you're interested, right? Don't forget, with Fury, this is the guy who gave up his belts, was it Commonwealth and British belts? Because he didn't want to fight David Price when Price was undefeated. Fury is a quintessential cherry picker when he can be. There are other occasions when he's been quite the opposite, going to Germany and beating Klitschko. Fantastic win. Going to America and beating Wilder for the first time. Well, it was a draw, but we all know he really won. Fantastic. And that makes it even worse, really, because we know Fury has got substance. We know he's an exceptional fighter, that he's a very, very good fighter. But all this, all this snideness, all this cherry picking, I mean, some people would say, well, that's good business. They're probably the sort of people who love Mayweather because he made hundreds of millions of dollars. I'm a boxing fan. I don't give a fuck what's in someone's account. I do not care. I could not care less. I want to see good matches, and I want to see consistency. And if you want me to judge someone as a fighter, that's different to judging them as a person. Because, again, I consider Fury to be the superior fighter to AJ. He always has been. But if you're talking about the person who's to be admired as a person for the way they go about their business, even though it may be less intelligent and less cautious, I would say I favour AJ. I like AJ better. Because even though he perhaps should go away and take some time out, the fact that he's willing to fight anyone, even now he wants to fight, he's accepted all of Fury's terms. Even now he's doing that. I respect that. Can you imagine if the boot was on the other foot? There's no way on God's earth Fury would fight AJ, coming off 2 defeats. Now, I could go on, but I'm not going to, because I think my message has been given to you. I'm sure we will get 1 or 2 of the little Fury fanboys coming out and, doing their silliness. Fill your boots, mate. I know where the block button is, believe me. But if you're an intelligent person who disagrees with me, I ain't got a problem with it at all. You leave your comments, we'll have a chat, we'll have a debate. The art of debate is missing in modern society. It's been replaced by Twitter. Dumb buzzwords and stupid sound bites. But if you want to have a chat about it, that's fine. Leave your comments below. I'll talk to you. And of course, if you're new to the channel, subscribe, do your thing, do your normal thing, and we'll see what occurs. Build up this channel. Hit the like button, subscribe, like, double jab, keep punching. We've got some good boxing this weekend. We got Golovkin versus Canelo 3. I did a review of that. Have a look at it on the channel. Until then, enjoy yourselves. We've got the weekend ahead. Take care. Bye for now.